Dear student, we are going to determine the winding parameters of the three-phase induction motor from their physical dimensions. We have already determined the winding parameters using no load test, block rotor test and the stator resistance test. Today we are going to study objective of the lecture is how to determine parameters of winding in three-phase induction motor using the physical parameters of the induction motor. And from these parameters we have to determine the performance of the induction motor. Now let us see how to determine stator resistance. Number one, stator resistance. Stator resistance RS, this is equal to rho LMTS upon AS. This is resistivity of the material used for winding. This is length of mean turn of the stator winding, stator turn, and this is the area of cross section of the conductor used for making the winding. So this is the resistance of one turn, so that it is multiplying by TS. TS is the stator winding turns per phase, so that this is resistance of one turn multiplied by number of turns. So this is the stator resistance per phase. Clear this thing? So this way rho is resistivity of the conductor, LMTS length of mean turn in stator, then TS is the turns per phase in stator, and AS is the area of conductor in stator, this is mm square. Okay, length of turn in meter, resistivity ohm meter and mm square. Okay, so we have this, and also we have this. So stator resistance is calculating from this formula. Now come to rotor resistance. As we know, in three-phase induction motor there are two types of rotors we can use. One is the wound rotor and second is the squirrel cage rotor. Number one is wound rotor. For wound rotor, resistance per phase RR can be determined as RR is equal to rho LMTR upon AR into TR. Symbols are as usual. So this is the resistance of one turn and multiplied by TR, turns per phase. So this is rotor resistance per phase. Now this resistance we have to refer stator side. So this is RR dash, resistance refer to stator. This is equal to RR dash, this is equal to KWS into TS upon KWR into TR square into RR. So this is stator winding factor, this is rotor winding factor. So this way we know this thing KWS and KWR, then we can refer resistance in the stator side. Number 2 is cage rotor. This is used in squirrel cage induction motor, cage rotor. So symbols are as it is: rho resistivity, LB, rho resistivity of conductor material, resistivity. Then LB is the length of each bar, length of each bar. This is meter. AB is area of each bar, area of each bar. This is mm square. Then DE is the mean diameter of each ring, mean diameter. This is mean diameter of each ring, each ring. This is meter, and this is AE. This is equal to, this is area of each ring, area of each ring. This is mm square. So as we know, in squirrel cage induction motor, rotor resistance is bar resistance plus end ring resistance. So we have to determine bar resistance. At the same time, we have to determine the end ring resistance from their physical dimensions, and then we have to add to get total resistance of the rotor. So resistance of each bar, resistance of each bar, this is RB, this is rho LB upon AB. So copper loss in each bar, copper loss is I square R loss in each bar. This is equal to IB square into RB. So this is IB square, RB is rho LB upon AB. Then total copper loss in all the bars, total copper loss I square R loss in all the bars, all bars. This is multiplied by number of bars. So this is copper loss per bar multiplied by number of bars, and number of bars is nothing but number of rotor slots. So this is equal to SR, number of bars, then IB square rho LB upon AB. So this is copper loss in one bar multiplied by number of bars is SR. So we get total copper loss in all the bars. Let this is equation number 1. Now same way we are finding the copper loss in end ring. So resistance of end ring, each end ring, there are two end ring, resistance of each ring, this is equal to, this is RE, this is rho L, L is nothing but pi DE, this is mean length, mean circumference, nothing but mean length upon AE. So this is resistance of each ring. So copper loss in each ring, so I square R loss in each ring, in each ring, this is IE square into RE. So this is rho pi DE upon AE. And as there are two end rings, so total I square R loss in both the rings, total I square R loss, so total I square R loss in two rings, two end rings. So this is multiplied by 2. So this is 2 I e square rho pi dE upon AE. Now we know, but entering current IE is equal to SR IB upon pi P. Pi P. This is entering current in terms of bars, entering current in terms of rotor slots. So substitute here. Therefore total I square R loss, total I square R loss in two rings, two end rings, this is equal to 2 into SR IB upon pi P its square into, this is I square R loss in two rings, 2 IE square, this is IE square into rho pi dE upon AE. This is equation 2. This is suppose equation 2. So adding copper loss from the bars with copper loss in the end rings. So total copper loss in rotor, total copper loss in rotor, this is equation 1 plus equation 2. So this is equal to SR into IB square, SR equation 1, this is equation 1, SR IB square rho LB upon AB, this is copper loss from the bars, plus end ring copper loss, this is 2 upon pi into rho into IB square into SR square into DE upon P square into AE. Now from this, taking common rho IB square and SR square, taking common rho IB square and SR square. So taking common rho IB square SR square, then we get in bracket LB upon SR into AB plus 2 upon pi dE upon P square into AE. This is the total copper loss in the rotor, end ring copper loss plus bar copper loss. Let MS MR number of phases in stator and rotor respectively, TS TR turns per phase in stator and rotor respectively. Then KWR is the winding factor, this is winding factors in stator and rotor respectively. Then rotor, total resistance of rotor refer to stator, we have total resistance of rotor refer to stator, we have formula R dash is EMS KWS TS upon MR KWR TR square into RR. This is formula. So substitute this above equation here. So this is equal to MS TS KWS upon MR KWR TR into square to rho SR square. This is SR square LB upon SR AB plus 2 upon pi DE upon P square AE. Then for squirrel cage rotor, MR, rotor number of phases MR is SR upon P. TR is P upon 2 and KWR is 1 for squirrel cage rotor. Substitute here. Therefore this is substitute here, we get MS TS into KWS upon SR upon P into P upon 2. KWR is 1. This is square rho SR square in bracket LB upon SR AB plus 2 upon pi DE upon P square into AE. Now simplify this thing. After simplification we get 4 EMS square TS square KWS square into rho into LB upon SR AB plus 2 upon pi DE upon P square AE. Now current distribution is not uniform. Current distribution is non-uniform in the end ring. Therefore the end ring resistance is multiplied by K ring factor. So this is end ring resistance, you can say. So this thing we have to multiply it by K ring factor because the end ring current is not uniform in the end ring. Therefore RR dash this is equal to 4 MS TS square into KWS square into rho into LB upon SRAB plus 2 upon pi DE upon P square AE into K ring because of non-uniform current in the end ring. And therefore for 3-phase machine MS is equal to 3, but number of phases MS is equal to 3. So substitute. Therefore RR dash is equal to 12 TS square KWS square rho into LB upon SR into AB plus 2 upon pi DE upon P square to AE into K ring. So this is formula to determine the rotor resistance of the squirrel cage induction motor refer to stator from the physical dimensions of the motor. Physical dimensions of the stator and the rotor. Now plotting phasor diagram. In phasor diagram, phi is plotted first. This is the phi. This is voltage V, applied voltage V. Drops are not showing on the phasor diagram. This is the no load current. No load current is I0. It has two components. Its magnetizing component Im and the loss component is IL. The phi is produced by stator linked by rotor. So EMF induced in rotor is E2. Current setup is I2 in the rotor. Current setup is IR. IR in the rotor. The rotor current is reflected back into the stator. So this is IR prime. Phasor sum of I0 and IR prime. This is the stator current IS, and the angle between IS and V is power factor angle phi. Now if rotor leakage reactance and loss component of the no load current is neglected, so if we neglect rotor leakage reactor, so IR will be along the E2, and if we neglect loss component, then I0 will be along the x-axis. Clear? So if we neglect rotor leakage reactance, then IR will be in phase with E2, and if we neglect loss component IL, then I0 and Im both will be equal and will be along phi 0. So after neglecting loss component and leakage reactance, this is phi, this is Im, nothing but I0, then phi is linked by rotor E2, therefore E2. IR is in phase with this. IR prime is opposite to this, reflected in the rotor circuit. This is V, and the phasor sum of IR dash and Im is nothing but stator current Is, and this is the power factor angle phi. So from this IR dash, this is equal to Is cos phi. So at the end, student will be able out. What is outcome of this lecture? So outcome is that student will able to determine the rotor and stator resistance from their physical parameters, and from these parameters student will be able to determine the motor performance. Thank you.